what is going on and what is kind of going through the head of the narcissist after the discard. What happens if you don't beg and plead with the narcissist? In a situation where you aren't begging them and you have gracefully accepted the discard and you are grieving privately, not begging them, they must accept the fact that you are not begging. And much like an average person would do if we were talking about a discard in a usual breakup, but normal breakups don't have the discard factor. So I believe the motives behind such acceptance might be different with a narcissist. When a narcissist breaks up with you or discards you or forces you to leave them, which is very common and which is what happened to me, whatever you want to call it, they really mean it. Usually because there is a new person in the picture. Most of the time, 99% of the time, there is a new person in the picture, and they really truly do want you out of their life and as soon as possible. They are highly situational about their thoughts and about their action, as these things depend on what image of the narcissist the other person is projecting at any given point in time. So if their discard makes you sob and wail and beg and plead uncontrollably, but you still accept it, they might be thinking like, ew, yuck, get away from me, you're pathetic, and thank God I did the discard, this is going to be over soon. Pull yourself together faster because I have better things to do than to sit here and tend to the victim's weak ego and the ego that's been torn down by the narcissist. If you get teary-eyed or you cry a little bit, it might be, as the aforementioned, what I just said, or something along the lines of, okay, so let me join in so it doesn't seem like I'm all cold and sensitive, and then off you go out the door. If you handle the discard if you are absolutely calm and collected and put together, they might feel like being discarded back and think, wow, where's the reaction from this person that I'm breaking up with, and why don't they care? And the narcissist probably won't say anything at the time. Maybe a borderline or a histrionic person would probably fire back immediately by turning the tables on you, but not necessarily a narcissist. They will probably do this at a later date, and in their accusations against you in the smear campaign for the failure, blaming you for the failure of the relationship, and they will point out how insensitively you accepted their discard and how you thus showed that you obviously never loved them when you didn't even shed a tear at the breakup. These thoughts may come across as a plot against you, but they are simply a form of a narcissist automatic defense mechanism, which always starts with the premise that you, whoever you may be, are the problem, and that the narcissist is a saint. They are impeccable. They are untouchable. And no person is the same. And this should not be interpreted as a universal, behavior map or any, for the thinking ways of a narcissist by any means. So the discard, we are all very familiar with what this means. It means that they are over it. The narcissist hates you and they want to destroy you. They are ready to move on. And that would also require the narcissist to be thinking about you. They are bored with you, and you are not fueling the narcissist. You're not giving them the attention, the admiration, and adulation that they need. You're not helping the narcissist with their self-esteem and self-validation, so they are done with you for now. It's about finding someone who can help them prop up their self-esteem, since you are not doing your job anymore. And most of the time, they have decided that they are bored enough to discard, and if you accept the discard, you don't beg him back. You think about this one. Just don't react. If you don't emote, just think logically and rationally, as hard as it is. they are no longer interested anyway, and they haven't been for quite some time, since the beginning of the devaluation or the end of the love bombing stage. They are totally indifferent to us, and they always have been, especially at the point of discard. And if you are not begging and pleading, how is the narcissist reacting? If they even bother to give it a further thought, they, in most situations with a discard, as hard as this is to hear, they are more relieved than anything. If they bother to even think about it at all, and that's the hardest part. That is what hurts the most. Not that they hate us and want to destroy us, it's that they are indifferent to us. And that's the reality, and it's much worse than thinking that they hate us. On the other hand, did you believe or assume or hope that whenever you were begging and pleading that perhaps it was, or did you ever think that perhaps it was helping the narcissist to regulate their self-esteem? And I don't think many of us understood that the begging and pleading was feeding their ego. And just in case I'm sure you all probably know, the begging doesn't feed the ego as much as one might think it would. The begging is about us and our need to be needed by the narcissist, and therefore our needs do not help the narcissist regulate their self-esteem in any way. So it does feed the ego, but then again, it doesn't. It makes them look at us like we are pathetic. It makes them gag. It's gross to them. It shows them that we are weak, and they think that we are just pathetic, and we might as well have vomited on the carpet all over the place right in front of them. Why? Because we were pleading for our self-esteem, which does absolutely nothing for the narcissist's self-esteem. And all it does is confirm to the narcissist that it is time to discard us. And I went through the same thing myself, the same begging and pleading, just like most of us have. And in a way, I think in the back of our minds, we already knew how they were going to react. The more that we pushed, the push-pull dynamic, and it's very difficult to think logically and rationally when you are in this headspace of cognitive dissonance and CPTSD and trauma, and it is right in front of your face, and you are losing who you believed was your soulmate, the love of your life, possibly the father or mother of your children. It's hard to keep your emotions out of the equation, but why should we keep ourselves out of the equation? Because it is not about us, and it never was about us. It was always about the narcissist and about the narcissist regulating their self-esteem.